Hello everyone. Here I am trying to prove that Ifa is indeed unkillable, and that's all the introduction you are going to get. Watch my previous video if you want to have some context for this. Ifa is quite the character. Basically, if you do the calculations, how should I put this? If you do the basic calculations for the value Ifa's skill plus the following techniques can provide, basically for 6 dice you can deal a minimum of 3 damage and heal 4 HP. For 6 dice, that is a value of 7 for 6 dice, which is it doesn't sound too bad now, doesn't it? You basically just spend. You get value of +1 for all of your. What is my opponent doing here? Well, you get the value of +1 for the skills you do. Well, why is that significant? The value of +1, I mean, it doesn't sound that special to you. Well, the fact is that when you consider that value of +1 is only in one-on-one scenarios where you do not swirl. If you swirl in each and every scenario, well, each swirl, let's put it this way, each swirl increases that total value of each, the skill itself as well as the techniques. A swirl increases the value up to 2, depending on how many opponent characters are
Here's
alive.
to a safe journey.
And that means that in most scenarios, the amount of value, I mean, my opponent here is very nicely going to let me showcase. For 2 dice we just did 3 damage. That's already like better than Kachina. Kachina needs 4 dice to do 3 damage. Now my opponent here actually thinks they are able to do something, but I just use the technique. You can see I heal 2 HP, a total of 5. The value you see right here. That's a value of 5. 3 damage plus 2 heals. Not to mention I have maidens, of course it gets a little wasted here.
Just relax.
Oh, I can no longer swirl with my technique. What a fucking surprise! I can just do a normal attack, not to mention I can just play the talent card, already heal up, full back up, then do a normal attack. I mean, and at this stage there isn't really much the only way my opponent can actually take out Ifa here and now is by basically doing one very big attack. Okay, I've kind of flown all over the place with Kakuku here, not really explaining Ifa as a whole. So perhaps once we've gone over the dice rolls, I can actually explain some of the finer details of Ifa's kit if you haven't played him already. Oh, nice dice actually. Very cool. So, Ifa's skills. Normal attack, very simple, 1 anemo damage, because he is a catalyst character. Of course we are in this deck using cash flow supervision to get cheaper attacks.
I see everything.
And now you see here, this is what I meant. If my opponent actually, does stack up everything they have for one big attack, I almost, die here. But you can see one technique, because we have the talent card, because we have Maiden's Fading Beauty, I heal up to 5 HP. Like so. Actually, there we go. That's all the HP. And we are back up to 6. Simply put, very stupid, very ridiculous. Then I can just simply redo the elemental skill, regain the technique. And this is, by the way, what the elemental skill does. You 1 anemo damage, so once again it is an immediate swirl, possible swirl. You enter Nitro Blessing with 2 Nitro points, and when you use the technique you lose 1 Nitro point and deal 1 anemo damage to the character left on the from the opponent's active character, so in this case it's Siegewin. But if they were on Nahida, the damage would go to Chlorine. If they were on Siegewin, the damage would go to Nahida. So on the left with the technique, and with the skill, with the burst, with the normal attack, they are, well, normal, like so. And the burst, 2 anemo damage, so once again it is an immediate possible swirl with the burst. On top of that, you heal 2 HP. By the way, all the heals are to the lowest HP character. Holy dice luck, that's very good. So from the technique, from the talent card, and from the burst, all the healing goes to the character with the least amount of HP left. That can actually, I think, now... does it 5? Actually, yeah, that takes out, but at this stage does it really... It doesn't take out. I was mistaken. Is my opponent like yet to realize that it's 4, no cards, no nothing, so it should be fine. Just the burst here. But yeah, the burst, as you can see, heals 2 HP, does 2 anemo damage. If the opponent stays alive and you swirl something, it does extra 2 damage, like so. So basically it's a 4 damage swirl. 4 damage to the active character if you get a swirl. If you don't get a swirl, then it's just 2 anemo damage, 2 HP. And well, my opponent did some damage to me, so let me heal right back up. And this is what I meant with this being completely busted and stupid. I mean, how is this fair? I mean, the Fortress of Menopit kind of now, annoyingly, I'm unable to play anything, but I just do that. And now honestly a fast swap with Nahida Burst is kind of scary, so I'm actually going to switch characters here to Mona. And well, as you see, most of this match I've just been on Ifa and I just don't die. Ifa just doesn't die. But then what is this 7 point of life on Siegewin? What is my guy doing? Well, they are probably just going to burst Nahida here. I mean, still pretty good dice. Of course, like the one part about Ifa, you only really need like 3 anemo dice per round. Most of the time you are fine with 2 anemo dice. It's honestly just very, very stupid. I could take out here, I mean, why not? Even though this is supposed to be an unkillable Ifa deck. By the way, also the Ifa's talent card activates when you do an electro-charged reaction as well, which is of course why we have Cookie and Mona, and that's why Mona gained 1 HP right there. And now that there's no Bloom Core, I can just switch, do the technique, and Chlorine gets taken out of the game. And I heal even more.
The victor is
because this is just stupid. And well, here we are actually going to go for a normal attack so that my summon takes out Nahida. And I hope this goes to showcase that Ifa is indeed very fucking stupid and broken. I want to see him nerfed. Anyway, I'll probably include another match in this video, so I'll see you there. Now, okay, going against another Ifa deck. Now, I think my opponent actually has like a possibility to go for a little bit more damage than me in this matchup, so this is going to get a little tricky here. Except I get quite a good starting hand.
Don't tell me they
But
did
they
it again.
start first, of course they... And actually it's not that bad now, is it? I mean, my dice, of course, no Electro, that's annoying, but... I only really need 2 dice to do the skill here. Huh. Okay, my mare is interesting, but... You do you, my guy, you do you. Now I kind of want to get the skill. Now I don't think I need that, I don't think I need that. I could play this, and I think I will, because I'm going to get a... Most likely going to get a dice. I mean, I'm going to get a dice, but I'm also most likely going to get a card here. Thank you, and of course the healing goes, well, now it would have been good to save that.
First aid kit at the ready.
What was it? See your heart out. Okay, my opponent is also playing, you know, unkillable characters, but I'm, of
Find
course,
the win.
ahead of the game, already having, I don't really actually... Why would you go for Jansan Burst? Like, the Jansan Burst doesn't increase technique damage. You don't really do much with that now, do you? Like, okay, it increases the skill in the normal attack, skill and so forth. I do think that's kind of excessive. I mean, a bunch of healing coming from the opponent is really going to turn out to be whose Ifa is more unkillable.
Let's move!
Oh, how scary, you almost did some damage to me, my guy. Whatever will I do? Oh, I know, I'm just simply going to heal all of that damage like so. And we also get a nice card from there. There we go, and hey, would you look at that, I'm going to be even more unkillable next round. Yeah, sure, you do that.
Show no mercy!
Oh no, I've taken some damage, whatever will I do? Well, let's just heal all of that. This is just so freaking stupid, I'm telling you. Like, what is the freaking point of that? Like, I can just do that and... Hey, no damage taken, hey! I actually do think I'm going to go for a skill here. I mean, fast trap, that's going to do 5... But no, well, actually... This is kind of a dangerous move to play Chef Mao. But I do think I'm just simply going to... Actually, I could play it safe and just go to Mona. Actually, yeah, we are going to do this, because if they now go to Ifa, I can just burst. Yeah, that should be fine. We went to Mona to be safe. And well, would you look at that? Of course, I don't think you got to see it in the first match because of the Meropid, but we indeed have the food engine as an important part of this deck. Harvest time, of course, you know, Harvest time makes food engine basically worth it to play once again. Ooh, whoops. Worth it to play food engine once again, because even though you run out of food cards, Harvest time makes sure that you have some form of food cards to continuously take advantage of the food engine. Now let's see what my opponent does here. Really? A normal attack? That's just kind of pathetic, you know.
First aid kit at the ready.
I'm just gonna do that, and well, no reason not to really burst. We are going to get a dice from that, and yeah, I think we are going to start with the burst and see what my opponent does here. Are they going to burst? I mean, Janssen is already out of Knights or Blessings points, so they are now going to spend the kinetic energy scale stacks here if they plan to attack. Fury right there would have been scary if they also had a fast action switch. Maybe I should top off my HP here. And you know what? I think I'm going to do just that. I think for the rest, with the rest of my dice, I'm going to play this combo right here. Of course, we also have Cookie's talent card, because for the scenarios when Ifa does get taken out, we want to have something. That is not going to be enough, my guy. It's close, but not enough. And they give up. Ha ha ha, Ifa is unkillable. And we are only at the 16-minute mark, so I'm going to continue with the video. I'll see you in the next game. Well, I mean, a Bloom deck is fine to test it against. I do think so. That's also, is that like a ninja? Like kind of like a ninja, but ninja. I don't know. Ninja? How would you pronounce that? Anyway, a Bloom deck, so we get to see, you know, the damage is going to come at the end of the round with that deck. Of course, Tulpa can do damage during the round. That's the whole gimmick of Tulpa. You can deal damage with summon decks during the round using the skill. Now I think playing Sing Your Heart Out is the way. Okay, that's brave against the Swirl deck, I do have to say. Very brave against the Swirl deck. I don't think I need to go for Swirls round 1, so I think we are going to go for this.
Stand with me.
And then just play one of these, probably. Either one of those. Like, you might think that's a good idea, but like,
here's to a safe
the
journey.
Hydro isn't going to disappear. Okay, yeah, we are going to go for this combo. Because it's simply worth it. That's going to give us quite a lot of value for the future, as we are slowly able to get the food engine on the field for cheap. Or a little bit.
Let's go.
It should be enough to... actually, is it going to be 2 plus... It's actually should be enough to heal a Bountiful Core because of the macaronis. Even if Tulpa activates Tulpa activates the Bountiful Core, Ifa should stay alive. Okay, but the Fury could change the scenario. Very much indeed. Well, god damn it, just my luck. And here I was boasting about Ifa being unkillable. Now if only I didn't have a backup plan for
I
this
tried.
deck. Let's see then, let's see. We aren't going to heal much, but we are going to... Hold on, that's going to deal 5. Yeah, I think the weapon is worth it. I can still play a food card. And I did get 1 dice back. Yeah, should be fine. Now let's just think about this a moment. I get 1 dice. I think this should be good. I think Furies should be nice, right? Then I kind of want to keep maidens, so I guess we are going to get rid of that and use the burst.
I'll settle this.
Because now, once we get the card from veterans, I can replace it with Maiden's Fading Beauty. Of course, they have the dice for 2 skills, that's kind of scary, but talent card plus... Actually, no, I don't think it's quite enough. That's actually quite bad. But, I mean, hold on. I'm going to heal for that. I mean, sure, we'll just go with that and see what happens. Okay, Ifa isn't quite as unkillable as I proclaimed earlier, but... what can you do? What can you do?
Oh, take care of the gang. Take care of the... Let's see.
Oh, and they even give me a swirl. How kind of them. And I guess I'll go for Chef now, and look as I'm going to draw Dunya's out right here. Oh, Chef Mao also actually was the right choice here. Very cool. Now, I kind of want to play Sing Your Heart Out, and considering I have a Maidens here, I do think it's fine. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then I can just go for something like... Actually, what would I go for here? No, definitely Maidens. Talent card. And, you know, for the sake of keeping the whole team alive. Oh, that would have been also nice. Well, no matter. But I don't really understand what is it with combining Yansan with Ifa, because like once again it doesn't increase the technique damage, the Yansan burst. You don't really gain anything. I feel it's wasted. Playing something like Yansan with Ifa here. But well, this match is kind of slow, so I'll probably skip it to the end. Oh well, that game came to an end. On to the next one. Oh, this actually... now I'm kind of... this could be quite bad, since that's quite a lot of damage coming in the end phase, and after that loss to the Bloom deck we kind of learned that we aren't actually quite unkillable against summon decks. I mean, they start first,
Wait
so
for my signal.
this should be fine. If they waste their dice, you know, going to Kokomi, using a Kokomi skill just to avoid a swirl, that's on them. They really go for that. I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense, I guess. I mean, I do have good dice, so I might as well play this just to see what cards I get. No.
Rest and rebuild.
No, I actually think I'm just going to go
It
for
is as the
Mona
stars
here.
foretold.
Because next round I can just fast swap to Ifa and I can play all of these right here and now. Of course, no, it doesn't matter what my opponent does. They can try to stay alive. Because we can just burst that right away. Of course the heals are wasted here a little. But those summons are actually going to do quite a lot of damage. So let's switch to
It
Mona
is as
here.
the stars foretold.
A lot of HP
Delicate
from
as silk.
opponent coming onto the field. That's already a kill right there, so it's definitely worth it to do that. But because I'm a little scared of whatever follow-ups my opponent might throw here, I actually can go for this as well, since we are going to be using the technique like so. Of course, now to get more swirls we have to go to Cookie, but considering the state of the game, it's going to be fine. This is going to give me some burst. This is the best I can do, since I really want to get Chiori out of the game here.
I'll settle this.
And this has turned from the Unkillable Ifa to more classic Unkillable Cookie Shinobu. Now they can do 2 skills here. Possibly even more, depending on what... Okay, that's going to be quite a lot of skills. Very scary. And don't tell me that's... Oh my... And even the... Are you kidding me?
Gather!
That might have been it for me. I don't really see anything I can clutch this with. I mean, another macaronis is the only thing I can do here, but that's still going to be like another high damage skill, and then all of these are going to do a lot of damage. That's going to be GG, I believe. Or maybe not quite yet, but next round when they get the burst, that's going to be GG. Because I have already bursted Cookie Shinobu, I don't... Well, there's the bloody talent card. Oh no. I mean, I have no way of getting enough energy in time, nor doing enough damage in time. Oh, yes, I'll take that one. But I do think there just one attack is going to be enough to take me out here. Ah, well, not quite, but the second attack will be enough. So summon decks are quite scary against Ifa, it seems. Well, will you burst?
I
There
will
we
have
go.
order.
That was quite a long game. I'll probably cut it out a little, but on to the next one. And as if learning summon decks aren't good, the one thing I already knew that wasn't good against Ifa, high target, single attack enemy, well, how should I put that? High damage, single target enemies. And now you are going to give me the bloody technique at first hand. Are you this stupid ass game? No, not technique, the talent card. Because with this one, if I had it when I first boosted Cookie in the last game, normal attack against normal attack would have taken out Chiori there at the end, and then I could have used my burst with Adeptus to Zhongli. They would have lost the what is it? damage, damage buff from the talent card, Zhongli's talent card.
Wait for my signal.
But yeah, we have learned that summon decks aren't good, and everyone should already guess by the way Ifa's skills work that single target damage, high single target damage is good against Ifa, but now this is indeed quite scary because that is high single target damage from Mualani going to be. Now a normal attack does it? No, it's going to be because of the follow-up. Well, this is kind of what I said, it's
could have said more.
not the best
Yes,
against
just-
high single target damage. Can I actually do a skill here? Not easily. No, so we will do some hoping for an nail. There we go. Hoping for hydro dice. Don't need that. Don't need that. Let's go for a
Let me
skill here for that bit of extra damage. Because we still have a fighting chance in this matchup if we get Mualani out of the field before Cookie has a bunch of fight targets. This is actually once this video has returned from Unkillable Ifa into an Unkillable Cookie video, but I guess it is what it is. Going for Mawika, interesting, because now if I get Fury, that's going to take her out. But ending on Mualani is even worse for my opponent, because there's still the Cookie skill active. Since we are most likely going to just do a normal attack with Cookie, I'm actually going to keep those Hydro dice for a possible skill with Mona after all. Mawika will very likely swirl here. No, not swirl, burst.
Wait for my signal.
So we will go for that. Because I am afraid of that burst, we are going to play Mystic Soup. Well, if I get Providence, I mean, why not? Oh, and even okay, that's actually, oh, this is really good. I can even play the talent card no matter what they do.
alone.
Unless they have stealing, but I don't think that deck uses the Jungasaurus technique card to steal the talent card.
Fulfill our pact!
I mean, my opponent's really like mistake right there. They should have stayed on Mawika instead of going back to Mualani.
Lightning purify!
Because now the burst is no longer scary from Mawika. I of course have to kind of choose what to do here, but it's just a normal attack since we do have the macaronis still on the field. Harvest time, probably for the activation of Sitlali's passive skill, which I don't really understand when they just played Mystic Soup to do that. I mean, maybe they are spending all of their dice here to end their round on Sitlali. That's a possibility. A lot of healing, quite surprising for such an aggressive deck. I mean, I played that deck back in the day, and I didn't use like any healing, because you don't need healing with that deck. All you need is Mualani bursting, and that usually wins you the game, because by that point you have full stacks on Mawika's burst, and you can use Sitlali to freeze the opponent with the help of Mualani's burst summon, and well, all of that. But I guess this is just a matter of how to finish the game now. If they have a bunch of healing, this may turn into a longer game indeed. So, what will they do? An egg is quite something, especially going for a freeze. You got me there, I was not expecting something. Very surprising arcane card. A very desperate place also, like all of that just to freeze Cookie. That isn't really great. Maybe I actually could make this more unkillable. I should use Tenacity of the Millilith instead of, you know... I mean, Veterans is good. Probably replace... what is it? Varukasha's Glow. Oh no, Mona is out of the game. Whatever will I do? Well... I'm of course going to take out Molani. Molani out of the game again. What now, my friend? I have enough dice to take out, well, one of your characters. Okay, that's getting like real desperate now. Oh, a weapon. But yeah, you know, replace Varukas's Glow with Tenacity, then this could be probably a bit more unkillable. Though in that case you could actually consider playing Timaeus, and then you wouldn't quite have the room for the full food engine as well. It could get quite tricky, but you could throw away the weapon and one Ateia for two Timaeuses. Oh yeah, maybe this is a good time to actually... This is... Well, not my first Ifa deck, but this is my second Ifa deck. The first was very similar to this, but nothing really special. In the way that I would actually be proud of it. It was simply just another... well, should I say a copy of another deck. And now we will play the weapon, and that's going to be
Out of my way!
Well, next match I believe will be the last no matter what. And here we go with the last match, win or a loss. I mean, if you want to make this deck more unkillable, I guess you can switch Mona for like Kokomi or Furina. I mean, you kind of don't even need to use a Hydro's character. It's just good to have another element that's easy to swirl, since, you know, Hydro cannot really be cleansed by anything. Meaningfully, at least. I mean, there are exceptions, but they are exceptions.
Our bond is strong.
And of course, the Tenacity of the Millilith could be added. But I do kind of think like Tenacity gives you like in total one more value over what Maiden's Fading. But I guess against summon decks, Tenacity would actually be better, since all the HP is concentrated on one character in the form of shields, whereas Maidens doesn't give you any value if your character is at full HP. But I would still keep Maidens. I would replace Varukasha's Glow with
It is as the stars
the
foretold.
Tenacity, and then of course some shenanigans good to get Timaeus into the deck by replacing one Ateia and the cash flow that I have for Ifa. But that's all for another time, another video, perhaps or perhaps not. This was just this video, in all honesty, this has been just an experiment that came to mind during the making of my last Varesa video. And well, you can truly, like, against the well, what did Ifa lose against? Summon decks, which is understandable, they do little damage during the round. Most of the damage comes at the end phase, meaning that all the healing you do, well, most of the healing you do during the round gets wasted. And then against one-shot characters like Mualani, even though, well, we did win against Mualani, but Ifa got taken out very early. Now, Pochi, would you end your round sometime soon? I guess you could throw Ifa into that Furina Siege Wind deck, you know, increase the max HP to be so high that way. And then you could also get Furina Burst to increase the damage from Ifa, then you wouldn't need a weapon at all. And you are anyway dealing with hydro damage at that point, which like mentioned is really hard to actually cleanse for the opponent, so that could actually another meme for I don't know, maybe I'll make a video out of that, maybe I won't. And my opponent is AFK. Well, that's an anticlimactic end for this video, but I guess I'll see you all next time.